What would you do if your own sister demanded to walk down your wedding aisle in a wedding dress before you? My parents thought it was a great idea, but they had no idea we were about to pull off the most satisfying revenge they'd ever experience. If you've ever dreamed of seeing karma served ice cold, hit that like button, subscribe, and stick around. This is one of the most jaw-dropping family drama stories you'll hear today.
Growing up, I always knew where I stood in my family, and it wasn't at the top. My parents adored my sister. Not just a little favoritism, I'm talking full-blown, unapologetic bias. Birthdays, forget about me. My cakes were always the flavor she liked. Family trips, her choice every time. And if there was ever a fight, they believed her, no matter what. Even when there was proof I was right, they still found a way to punish me, too. Imagine being a kid and feeling like nothing you do is ever good enough. That was my childhood. But it got worse when we became teenagers. At first, my sister mostly ignored me, but then she lost her friends. I don't know if they ditched her because she was mean or if they just moved away. But suddenly, I was the one with friends, and she had none. And just like that, I became the enemy. She accused me of everything, lying, stealing, you name it. And my parents? They believed her every single time. They even banned me from hanging out with my friends because your sister thinks they're a bad influence. The only people who saved me from total isolation were my cousins. They noticed how weird it was that I could never go anywhere. When I finally blurted out the truth that my parents didn't let me have friends because my sister didn't have any, they were horrified. Word got to the adults and my parents got chewed out. Did it change anything? Barely. I was grounded for a month for lying. Fast forward a bit. I started dating. My first boyfriend came over and guess what? My sister tried to flirt with him. When that didn't work, she flipped the script and told my parents he tried to hit on her. Who did they believe? You already know. They forbade me from seeing him, called me a bad judge of character, and used that excuse to interfere with every single relationship after that. Meanwhile, my sister could do no wrong. When college time came, my parents rolled out the red carpet for her, paid for everything, celebrated her every move. And me? I was told there was no money left. If I wanted college, I'd have to work, pay rent, and maybe they'd help me later. I didn't argue. I just smiled and said, okay. Because what they didn't know was I had been planning my escape for years. While they thought they were breaking me down, I was grinding hard, studying like crazy. And it paid off. I got a full scholarship. Announced it on social media with a big thank you post to my parents, just so they couldn't stop me without looking like monsters in front of the whole family. They weren't happy, but they couldn't do anything. And college was my freedom. Fast forward again, I met my now husband, a man who is everything my family isn't. Supportive, kind, and oh, he loves revenge. Seriously, if I'm the quiet one who cries when I'm angry, he's the guy plotting the ultimate clapback in real time. When we got engaged, we decided to keep the wedding simple and save for a dream honeymoon in Europe. Since most of my family was local, we chose my hometown as the wedding spot. That's when my parents insisted on meeting my fiancé. I didn't want to, but I caved, under one condition. He wouldn't be alone with them. Well, he had other plans. He was excited. He even bought a hidden recorder. He thought my sister would try to flirt, and he wanted proof to destroy her if needed. But what happened next blew even his mind. He came back grinning like the Cheshire Cat. Babe, you won't believe what they asked for. My parents and my sister sat him down and said they'd pay for the wedding if my sister could walk down the aisle in a wedding dress before me. Their excuse? It's not fair for the younger sister to marry first. She deserves the experience. I was stunned. My husband, thrilled, because in that moment, he started plotting the greatest revenge of our lives. We pretended to agree. My husband told them I'd never accept, so we'd need to keep it a secret until the big day. He even told them I was controlling and liked to check his phone, so nothing could be in writing. Everything had to be face to face. They bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Over the next few months, we milked it. My parents wanted input on everything, and they paid for everything. When they offered a basic menu, we said yes, then hinted my sister would love the premium package. Boom, upgrade. Same with flowers, photographer, everything. Thousands of dollars, all on them. Meanwhile, we hired private security with one instruction: don't let my sister in. The plan was simple. They'd keep my sister hidden until the last second, then send her down the aisle before me. They even thought I'd be too shocked to react in public. What actually happened? My bridesmaids walked in, music playing. My dad stood at the door waiting for my sister's big entrance. Except the doors opened and there I was. The look on his face? Priceless. Pure panic. His phone rang. It was my sister. He mumbled something and bolted. Why? Because at that very moment, my sister, wearing a wedding dress, was outside being blocked by security. She was kicking, screaming, calling me names, throwing a full toddler tantrum in the parking lot. My parents joined her, yelling at the guard, threatening to call the police. Guests heard everything. Whispers turned into outrage. And then my husband arrived. And he went full performance mode, gaslit them like a pro. Are you insane? Why would I ever agree to that? Show me proof. Of course, there was none. He tore them to shreds for trying to ruin our wedding, then walked back inside like a king. Meanwhile, my sister was on the ground, crying, kicking her legs, screaming about betrayal. My parents were white with rage and humiliation. Eventually, they were thrown out. And me? I walked down the aisle to whispers and stares, but when I reached my husband, he smiled and whispered, "Oscar-worthy performance, babe." We got married, we celebrated, and every bite of that expensive food tasted like revenge. My family tried calling after. I ignored them. My sister sent an unhinged message blaming me for destroying her life and calling my husband a snake. He sent screenshots of everything to the family group chat with this note: "Please help us. They tried to ruin our wedding. Now they're trying to ruin our honeymoon. Don't share our location. They might send her here to pretend to seduce me or something crazy." The family exploded, and since then, silence. Justice served. Parents humiliated in front of family, sister banned from the venue in a wedding dress, guests gossiping, whispers everywhere. Couple enjoys a lavish wedding, paid for by the people who tried to ruin it. Would I have preferred a normal, loving family? Of course. But after a lifetime of being treated like nothing, finally getting the upper hand, that felt incredible. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? See you in the next one.